What's good? What's good? What's good, squad? I'm on the Gautrain to Centurion for the marathon. Club keep going the whole time. And I had a couple of thoughts that I wanted to record. Let me just take out this thing. It's kind of hot in here. Yeah, I had a. I was thinking about some of the most influential books that I've read coming up. Books that still continue to be super influential to me. And I think people fall into the trap of reading something or reading books and not taking steps. So you build a habit of reading something and you get into this constant loop and cycle of consuming knowledge, but you don't apply it. Right? And I think a lot of things that I've done over the past couple of months, really since I got back from school, were actions that were influenced by some of the books that I've read. Right? I remember in 2020, during the pandemic, I got into a rabbit hole. So the first book I bought was like number one as a teenager in high school was I Write What I Like by Steve Biko. And I remember I bought it with like coins that I'd saved up throughout the year. And I would attempt to read the book. I did read it the following year, 2015. But it was just too hard for me, right? It was too hard to grasp. Even though I'd studied Steve Biko from like high school history. And he's one of my childhood heroes. I struggled reading the book because it was just too rigid and too stern and strong. And the language also was tough to comprehend. He uses impeccable English. So it didn't really have much of an influence on me. I put it on the back burner. And then in 2020, during the pandemic, I really just delved deep into it. And I would read it and take notes. I remember I was emailing my friend Harold at the time. And Biko talks of community projects that people need to do for their own communities. Well, specifically black people need to do for their own communities. And how no one is coming to save anyone. If you want to do change, if you want to have change, you will have to action that change. And that really spoke to me. I mean, in a time in South Africa where there was suppression of the highest order, people were marginalized, he had that mentality. And I came across a video, or I read something about how Biko back in the time would walk in Joburg CBD like he owned the street. Like that level of mentality at that time.
Attention please. Passengers for Boulevard Tambo International Airport.
To walk in Joburg CBD in a space where black people were highly restricted, to walk like he owned it, it tells you the type of mentality that he had. So fast forward 2022, I found myself doing community projects that I started just because I wanted to do it, not because I had an incentive, not because I was paid to do it. It's projects that were from the passion, from my passion, and projects that would build the community. Let's go. Another book that I read was Conversations with Myself by Nelson Mandela. Just a disclaimer, I'd always been very critical of Nelson Mandela. I question some of his decisions, his thinking, because he just changed abruptly. But that's a conversation for another day. But in this book, I actually found myself kind of like taking it all in, realizing, and reading about this guy who came from Norway in the Eastern Kingdom, and just had the courage of his convictions to challenge his status quo. Things that they were doing back then they could really get you killed, but he was willing to die, and I found myself just taking all that information in and applying it. Well, I'll later apply it later on when I read the books too. And then and applying some of the quotes. So the main crux of this video is really just if you consume content or if you consume knowledge, be able to action it, because you get into this weird movement cycle of consuming, self-development, self-help without really action. So yeah, that's my ramble for the day. Let's go. Marathon loading. Keep going the whole time. Hey.